You want some brushes?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey everyone, welcome back to my second Christmas card, holiday card video, where I'm going to show you 3 more designs to do in under 6 minutes. So let's do it. Okay, so to start, I'm just going to go through my materials. Today I'm going to be using B watercolor paper that I have folded in half. It is 6 by 9 inches long, so folded it is 6 by 4.5 inches, which is perfect for a card. I have my Winsor Newton Cotman watercolors in my palette. I also have my Fine Tech gold palette. I will link everything below. And I have my Princeton stamp brushes in a size 12 and size 6, my water, my paper towel. I also may be using a Micron pen, the size 01. It's pretty fine. I like that. I also have my Tombow, really small brush tip marker, scissors, and I have my painter's tape. And I think that's all I'm gonna need. Maybe some white ink. We'll see where this takes us, okay? So I'm gonna be doing really simple Christmas cards. I already did a Christmas card tutorial, but I am challenging myself to do them in a small amount of time. So I am giving myself 10 minutes for each card to show you that you can come up with a really easy, fast, quick, that's the same thing as fast, cute design in under 10 minutes that if you're scrambling for a last minute card for the holidays, I got you. I hope this makes sense. I apologize. Okay, so I actually have my timer here. So we're gonna see how long this takes me. And I don't know why I'm actually doing this because when I'm put under pressure, I don't do as well. So let's just see. Okay, so timer is starting. I am gonna do a Christmas tree design first. So I'm just gonna take my painter's tape to make a triangle. Okay. So, funny story. This is my 3rd time filming this tutorial. The first time, my dog was barking way too loud. The second time, my washi tape wasn't working and the paint went right through it. And this 3rd time, as you can see, I am way out of frame. So I am gonna have to do this part again, and I still promise it will be under 6 minutes. So let's do it. Okay, so this exact card will not be in the final product ending of this video, but this is how I did it. I took some painter's tape, which is the best to use for this, and I roughly just laid it down where I think the center of the card is, as well as I put it a little bit lower so I can do a border around it. Okay, so now that I have my tape all secured, I am going to grab different shades of green, and I'm just gonna do a zigzag pattern. So the first green I am going to grab is this sap green, which is one of my favorite bright greens. And I'm just gonna do like a zigzag kind of cascading down the triangle. You can darken it up a little bit, you can leave it lighter. Doesn't really matter because it all will blend together in the end. What you can do if you wanna switch it up with the different colors is wait for each layer to dry and then do another layer beside it so they look like actual stripes. But the way I'm doing this one is I'm just doing it wet beside each other so the colors are blending together. And when it dries, it will be seamless blends all over of different greens, and I think looks quite nice. But you can also do that layering effect. So the next green I grabbed was Hooker's Green Dark, which I love. And then this last green, I got some Viridian Green, which is more of a bluey green. And I mixed it with a bit of the Hooker's Green Dark, and I'm just doing the same kind of cascading zigzag pattern down the tree, filling in all of those white spaces. And you can go over some parts again to make it darker if you like. Totally up to you how you want to do this. Also, if you just want to wet the whole triangle and just drop different shades of green in it and have them kind of bleed into each other, I think that would look really cool too. Okay, so instead of waiting for it to dry, if you are on a time crunch, I grabbed my heat tool, but if you have a hairdryer laying around, many people use that as an option. Just put it on a low setting and don't put it so close to the paper. You don't want the paper to warp too much, but a little bit of heat will help dry it a lot quicker. Okay, so now the best part is taking off that tape. You get a really nice, crisp, clean triangle line shape. You get a crisp, shape. Now I am going to take my gold palette here, and to activate these paints, you need to add water to them and swish it around for a little bit. And you can decorate the tree, you don't have to. I'm gonna put a star on top, like that. And then I'm just gonna put fine lines going down, kind of in the same kind of pattern that we did, like that. And this is so simple and so stinking cute. Okay, like that. Now hold on, because that is not completely dried yet. I got too excited. Okay, and there's your tree. And if you want to, you can create a little border around it, like I did in my past videos. I'm gonna do it with gold so it ties in. I'm doing it pretty close to the edge. You know what? I think I'm just gonna make the edge of the card gold, because I want it. And if you don't want to do this part freehand, you don't have to, but I kind of like the way it looks when it's freehand and it's not perfectly straight lines. It looks a bit more homemade like that, And there you go. So if you want, you can write something here. I think I'm going to do that, but I'm going to let this dry first. And honestly, we're at 5 minutes and 15 seconds. That's how long it took to do this, okay? So I will write something here after, but there's our first card done. Okay, I'm gonna stop my timer. I'm gonna reset it. That was 5 minutes and 15 seconds. And now we're gonna do another one. Okay, so I think for our second card, we should do holly. I've gotten a lot of requests for holly, and I'm gonna show you how to do it now. So start that timer. I'm going to take some cadmium red deep, and I'm going to create 1, 2, 3 berries, okay? I'm going to fill it in with the light wash of that red. Make sure there's not too much water. You don't want it like dripping everywhere, because you're going to add in some more darker red to the bottom of each of those berries, like so. And then I'm gonna add some purple to that red to really deepen it. So I had some that I already mixed here. I think it's dioxazine purple and the red, the cadmium red deep, just to create a bit of a shadow, make them really nice, rich berries. Okay, just like that. Now we are going to move on to the leaves of the holly. So I'm going to take my sap green here. I'm just going to mix it around. I'm going to take a lighter wash of it, and I'm going to create a line like this. Okay. And then I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And from each of these lines going out, you're going to create kind of like a U shape, a scoop from one line to the next, to the point, to the point, to the point. Simple. Okay, and I'm going to leave a little bit of white space where that middle is. And you want to try not to touch your berries because they will bleed into the green. I mean, it can be a really cute effect if you want to do that too. I'm going to try and keep mine a little bit more on the neater side, not as loose. Like that. And then I'm going to just start dropping in some of that sap green color, leaving some of the middle of the leaf lighter. Like that. Then I'm going to add some dark green, some Hooker's Green Dark, and I'm going to go around the edge like that. And up the middle a bit, like that, okay? Now I'm gonna do the other leaf. So again, line, you're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. Scoop, 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 and scoop. And you can adjust the way that line looks. Oops, I wanted to leave some white. It's all good. Just fill it in with that green. You want to go lighter so you have some nice light highlights in the middle of those leaves. And I might just make it a bit thicker at the bottom. Okay. I'm going to take some of that sap green. Oops, that's way too much. Push it around. Like that. Take my dark green, my Hooker's Green Dark color, and go around the edge. Like that. Honestly, it's that simple, okay? And again, we can write something underneath. I'm going to do another border on this one. This time I'm going to use red. Okay. And I'm just going to freehand that line. Better if you don't have a bunch of stuff on your desk so you can move your arm across. But my desk is cluttered. Believe it or not, if you guys could only see the behind the scenes here. I'm glad you can't. It's a little embarrassing. Oops. And then the last one. And there we go. And again, we are at 5 minutes, almost 5 minutes, 30 seconds for that. Okay. And again, we will write something later, but again, really simple. This is like 6-minute cards. Okay, guys, it's pretty easy and really fast. So there's another one. Okay. So for the last one, I say we do a snowman. So I'm stopping my timer. I'm going to reset it and we're going to do snowman. So this may take a little bit longer, but I'm going to try and make it as simple as possible. When doing anything that has white in it, you're going to want some sort of undertone to it, okay? Because drawing a white snowman on white paper, you know, you might think like, how am I going to do that without just doing an outline? You're going to use a really light wash of blue or gray or whatever kind of like undertone you want in it. Okay, so now starting my timer, and I'm going to take this light wash of this grayish blue that I have here. I think there's some Payne's gray, there's some indigo, and when I say light wash, I mean light wash. Okay, now I am going to create 1 snowball, 2, and 3. Okay, Then I'm gonna go back in and just go on one side a bit more. Make it a bit more rough. Okay, I'm gonna wash off my brush and I'm just going to blend that out a bit. And what that does is it moves the color over, but not so intensely where it looks like that color's everywhere. Okay, and then I'm gonna go back in with some of my indigo and I'm just gonna create more of a shadow on that one side. That might even be too much, but it's okay. Okay, and that's kind of a harsh line. So again, I'm gonna wash off my brush, just tap it on my paper towel, and I'm gonna blend out that blue so it's not so strong. Okay. There we go. Okay, and now I am going to dry it so we can do everything on top of that snowman. Okay, it's completely dry. It was really fast because I didn't use a lot of water or paint. Also, if you don't have a heat tool and you're very impatient like I am, I do suggest them. They can warp your paper if you use them, like, so you might want to tape down your stuff first, but if you're impatient like me, I would definitely suggest it. Okay, so now we are creating the arms, just jagged, stick-like hands. Okay, and make sure that base is dry, so, because otherwise that would bleed right into it. Let's do a top hat because traditional snowman. Oops, a bit more water. So I have my line across, simple square on top. That, it's kind of a lighter wash, so I'm just going to go in with some more dark paint to create a bit of a shadow. And then you can kind of go behind the snowman's head a bit, if that makes sense. So it looks like that top hat is on his head. Okay, like that. Let's do some black eyes. Might want to use a smaller brush for this part. Okay, and then I'm gonna do mouth just by doing some dots, buttons. Let's get that orange for that carrot nose. Gonna add a bit of red to the bottom of there to make it look like it's a bit of a shadow. Maybe a bit of brown underneath, like that. Let's put a scarf on this kid. So I'm gonna take some red. I'm gonna go back in with some more red, maybe just like that. We are at 4 minutes right now, and we are almost done. When you're doing this, don't feel like you have to go this fast or feel like you have to beat a clock. I just wanted to show you that these don't take that long, especially if you're, you know, scrambling last minute for some card ideas. This is more just for me to see if I can do it. There we go. I'm gonna create a bit of snow under him. So I'm just going to go with some indigo like that. And then I'm gonna wash off my brush, dry it. I'm gonna blend it out so it's like he's sitting on some snow, like that. Just blending it out. Simple snowman, and then you can definitely add a border if you want. You can write "Let It Snow," whatever you want. But that's 5 minutes, okay? Just keep it simple. I find like really simple cards look the best. And yeah, so that's about it. So there's 3 cards that were only about 5 minutes each. So on some of these, I'm gonna do some lettering now, just to show you some ideas. You wanna make sure that they're dry first before you start working. You put your hand in it. So let's start with this one. I'll use my Tombow marker, which they're really great little brush pens. They're a lot firmer than the, the big brush pens like these ones, the dual tip. Those tips are a lot longer and bigger, and they're kind of harder to control. They're softer, and these are hard, and they're great if you're beginning lettering. So let's write merry and bright. So I'm going to put and here in block letters. A, N, D. And I could have probably centered that better, but it's all good. And then I'm going to do merry. I'm going to put little squigglies over. And bright. B-R-I-G-H-T. Now, as you can see, the marker doesn't, it's not recommended to use these markers on watercolor paper because it's not as smooth to write on. It's actually also not great for your brush pens because the paper is textured. So if you wanted to get, just cardstock or smoother paper for your card and then do the watercolor part on watercolor paper and then tape it on, that works too. But if you want to do it just like this, you might just have to work it around a bit and just fine line those edges. But there you go, merry and bright. I know people will probably ask me how to do the calligraphy part. I'm not great at it, so I don't feel comfortable teaching it, but everything I have learned from the Happy Ever Crafter. I will link her Instagram and her website below if you're interested in learning calligraphy. She is wonderful, so definitely check that out. So there you go, simple card, merry and bright. Let's write another one here. So let's make it a bit more simple. Merry Christmas, okay? Or yeah, let's write Merry Christmas. So we're just going to write in block letters just to show you. I'm gonna write all capitals. Merry. And you can definitely space it out properly. I definitely did not do that here. But you get the gist of it. You can write Merry Christmas, whatever. And then last but not least, let's write Let It Snow. I'm going to do it in some, not calligraphy, cursive writing. Let it there was water there, that's okay. Snow. There you go. Simple, easy Christmas cards. One more thing I decided to do once I stopped filming was just roughly outline this holly, and you can add some ink to it and it will kind of like totally change the whole look of the card. It looks a bit more animated, it's fun, and I just like went over those block letters a bit more to make them stand out. And you can always do that to your illustrations too. I find sometimes black ink can just really make it pop.
Oh, so beautiful. Yeah? Paint, paint, paint. Are you an artist? Thank you all so much for watching my video. I really hope you liked it and I hope you learned something. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and follow me on Instagram and Facebook for even more. Have a great day, guys. Bye!